Imagine a young boy, lost in books and dreams, staring at the night sky, wondering how he could change the world. No one knew then that he would grow up to revolutionize cars, space travel, and even the internet. This is the story of Elon Musk, a story of passion, struggle, and unstoppable ambition. Welcome to the Fluent Storybook, where we bring you inspiring stories to improve your English while enjoying great storytelling. Today, we take you on a journey through the life of Elon Musk, from his childhood to building some of the most famous companies in the world. Let's dive in. 1. A curious boy with big dreams, Elon's childhood and early struggles. In the city of Pretoria, South Africa, on June 28, 1971, a baby boy was born into a world that would never be the same because of him. His name was Elon Musk. From the very beginning, he was different. While most children played outside, ran in the streets, and made friends, Elon preferred to sit alone, lost in his thoughts. He had a mind that never stopped asking questions, a hunger for knowledge that never seemed to end. Elon's parents, May and Errol Musk, were both intelligent and ambitious. His mother, May, was a model and dietitian, while his father, Errol, was an engineer. But Elon didn't have a warm and happy childhood. His parents divorced when he was young, and he lived mostly with his father, a decision he later regretted. Even as a little boy, Elon was different from other kids. He loved books more than toys. While most children his age were reading simple bedtime stories, Elon was reading encyclopedias and complex science books. By the age of 9, he had finished reading an entire set of encyclopedias. Whenever he had a question, he didn't just ask an adult, he searched for the answer himself, often diving deep into books about physics, space, and technology. But his intense focus on learning made him an outsider. Other children didn't understand him. He was quiet, shy, and socially awkward. His classmates often bullied him, sometimes physically harming him. Once, he was beaten so badly by a group of boys that he had to stay in the hospital for days. But instead of letting this break him, he found comfort in something else: computers. At the age of 10, Elon's life changed when he got his first computer, a Commodore VIC-20. Most kids would use a computer to play games, but Elon had something else in mind. He wanted to understand how it worked. He taught himself programming by reading a manual. And by the time he was 12, he did something incredible. He created his first video game called Blaster, a simple space-themed game, and sold it to a magazine for $500. It was a small victory, but it proved one thing: Elon Musk wasn't just a dreamer, he was a creator. Even as a child, he had the ability to turn ideas into reality. But despite this early success, his life at school remained difficult. He was still bullied, still lonely, and still searching for a place where he truly belonged. Elon's father, Errol Musk, was a strict and intelligent man, but their relationship was complicated. Elon later described his childhood as painful, saying his father was harsh and sometimes cruel. Despite this, Errol was also a man of great knowledge, and he exposed Elon to engineering and problem-solving. But life at home was not easy. As Elon grew older, he realized that South Africa was not the place where he could achieve his dreams. The country had many problems, and he wanted to go somewhere where technology was advancing, where innovation was encouraged. He had heard stories about the United States, a place where people built rockets, invented computers, and created world-changing businesses. Elon knew he had to get there. At the age of 17, he made a bold decision: he would leave South Africa and move to North America. It wasn't an easy choice. He had to leave his family, his home, and everything he knew. But deep inside, he felt that if he stayed, he would never become the person he wanted to be. In 1989, Elon Musk left for Canada, where his mother's side of the family lived. He arrived with very little money, no fancy connections, and no clear path forward. But he had something more important: determination. Life in Canada was tough at first. To support himself, he took up different jobs, cleaning boilers, working on farms, and even chopping wood. These jobs were far from glamorous, but he didn't complain. He knew this was just a stepping stone to something bigger. Eventually, he enrolled at Queen's University in Ontario. This was a turning point in his life. Here, he started meeting people who shared his interests. He was no longer the lonely boy from South Africa. He was now in a place where intelligence was valued, where ideas mattered. But Elon wasn't done dreaming. He knew that if he wanted to truly achieve something great, he had to get to the place where the most innovative minds were, the United States. After 2 years at Queen's University, Elon transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in the U.S. This was a dream come true. He studied both physics and economics, believing that understanding science and business together would help him in the future. During college, he spent a lot of time thinking about the future of humanity. He asked big questions. How can we use technology to improve people's lives? How can we make energy cleaner and more efficient? How can we explore space and make life multiplanetary? These were not just passing thoughts. They became the foundation of everything he would do later in life. Elon was not just a student, he was also an entrepreneur. He and his roommate turned their house into a nightclub, charging students an entry fee to make extra money. This showed that even back then, Elon had a business mind. He was always looking for opportunities to create and build. But while he was thinking about the future, he also knew he had to take action. He had big dreams, but he needed to turn them into reality. That's when he made another bold decision. He would move to Silicon Valley, the center of the tech world, and start building something extraordinary. Elon Musk's childhood was filled with struggles, loneliness, bullying, and the constant feeling of being different. But these struggles shaped him into the person he became. They made him resilient. They made him curious. And most importantly, they made him fearless in the face of challenges. His decision to leave South Africa, move to Canada, and finally reach the United States was not just about geography, it was about chasing a vision. He believed that technology could change the world, and he wanted to be at the forefront of that change. Now, with his education complete and his mind full of ideas, it was time to take the next step. Elon Musk wasn't just going to work for someone, he was going to build his own company. And so, the journey of a young entrepreneur began. Building his first companies, the journey begins. Elon Musk had come a long way, from a curious, lonely boy in South Africa to a determined young man in the United States. But the real challenge was just beginning. He had big dreams, but dreams alone were not enough. He needed to take action. He needed to build something that could change the world. Silicon Valley was the perfect place for him. It was the heart of technology, a place where ambitious young people were creating companies that transformed industries. The internet was still new, but Elon saw its potential. He knew that this was the future, and he wanted to be part of it. But he had no money, no experience, and no safety net. All he had was his knowledge, his ideas, and his willingness to take risks. And that was enough. Elon Musk's first real company was called Zip2. It started in 1995, when the internet was just beginning to grow. The idea was simple: to create online maps and business directories for newspapers, something like an early version of Google Maps combined with Yelp. To start the company, Elon and his brother Kimball Musk worked day and night. They didn't have money to rent an apartment, so they slept in their tiny office. They showered at a nearby gym. Elon would work long hours, writing code and developing the software himself. Sometimes, He would sleep under his desk and wake up just to continue working. Most people would have given up under such conditions. But Elon saw this as an opportunity. He believed that if they worked hard enough, they could build something valuable. At first, it was tough. Newspapers were not sure if they needed an online business directory. Many people didn't even understand what the internet could do. But Elon was persistent. He knocked on doors, made phone calls, and convinced newspapers to use Zip2's services. Slowly, the business started growing. More newspapers joined. Investors started noticing. And in 1999, after 4 years of hard work, something incredible happened. A company called Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. At just 28 years old, Elon Musk became a millionaire. But he didn't stop there. Instead of retiring, he immediately started thinking about his next big idea. He wasn't interested in just making money, he wanted to create something that could change the world. Elon's next step was even bigger. He saw that traditional banks were slow, complicated, and outdated. He believed that the future of money was online payments. So, in 1999, he founded X.com, one of the first online banks in the world. X.com allowed people to send and receive money over the internet, something that was completely new at the time. But building a financial company was not easy. Banks didn't trust online payments, and many people were afraid to put their money on the internet. Still, Elon pushed forward. He worked day and night to improve the system, making online transactions faster and safer. Soon, X.com merged with another company, Confinity, and together, they created PayPal. PayPal made it incredibly easy for people to transfer money online, and it quickly became popular. More and more people started using it, and soon, even eBay users began using PayPal for online purchases. In 2002, something big happened. eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Once again, Elon Musk made a fortune. He now had hundreds of millions of dollars. But instead of enjoying his wealth, he made a decision that shocked everyone. He reinvested almost all of his money into new companies. People thought he was crazy. Why risk everything after becoming a multimillionaire? Why not just enjoy life? But Elon had something bigger in mind. He wanted to change the world. And for that, he needed to go beyond the internet. His next ventures would not just be about making money. They would be about the future of humanity itself. 3. Risking everything, Tesla, SpaceX, and more. Elon Musk had already achieved what most people could only dream of. He had built and sold 2 successful companies, Zip2 and PayPal, making him a multimillionaire. He could have retired, bought a private island, and lived a comfortable life. But that was never his goal. For Elon, money was just a tool to build things that mattered. And now, he wanted to build something much bigger than a software company. He wanted to change the future of humanity. His vision was bold, revolutionizing transportation on Earth and beyond. He wanted to create electric cars that could replace gasoline-powered vehicles and build rockets that could take humans to Mars. Most people thought he was crazy. Many believed that starting one new company was already risky, but Elon didn't just start one, he started 2 at the same time. This was the biggest gamble of his life. And soon, he would realize just how difficult this journey would be. Since childhood, Elon had been fascinated by space. He believed that humans should become a multiplanetary species to ensure our survival. But when he looked at NASA, he saw that space exploration was moving too slowly. So, in 2002, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He founded SpaceX, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, with one goal: to make space travel cheaper and eventually send humans to Mars. But building rockets was nothing like building software. It was extremely expensive, complicated, and dangerous. Elon was entering an industry where only giant governments had succeeded before. And he had no experience in aerospace engineering. So, what did he do? He taught himself rocket science by reading books and talking to experts. He spent hours every day learning everything he could. And then, he put almost all his money into SpaceX, hiring a small team of engineers who believed in his vision. But things didn't go as planned. In 2006, SpaceX launched its first rocket, the Falcon 1. It exploded. In 2007, they tried again. Another explosion. In 2008, a third attempt. Another failure. Each failed launch cost millions of dollars. Investors started losing faith. People laughed at him, calling him a fool for thinking he could build rockets. Even his friends told him to stop before he lost everything. Elon was running out of money. SpaceX had one last chance. In 2008, with everything on the line, they launched Falcon 1 for the fourth time. This time, it worked. The rocket reached orbit, making SpaceX the first private company to send a liquid-fueled rocket into space. And just when SpaceX was about to collapse, NASA offered Elon a $1.6 billion contract to help send cargo to the International Space Station. SpaceX was saved. But Elon wasn't done taking risks yet. At the same time he was building SpaceX, Elon had another mission: to create electric cars that could replace gasoline-powered cars. Most people thought electric cars were a joke. They were slow, expensive, and had limited battery life. No major car company believed they had a future. But Elon saw things differently. He believed that electric cars could be fast, efficient, and stylish. And if nobody else would build them, he would. In 2004, he invested millions into Tesla Motors, a small startup working on electric vehicles. He became the chairman and later took over as CEO. Tesla's first car, the Roadster, was a huge challenge. The company faced production delays, battery problems, and massive costs. Critics said Tesla would never survive. By 2008, Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy. SpaceX was also struggling. Elon had put almost all his money into these companies, even borrowing money to pay his bills. He was completely broke. But he refused to give up. That same year, when everything seemed lost, Tesla received a major investment that helped it stay alive. Soon, their technology improved, and Tesla began developing the Model S, the car that would later revolutionize the industry. Elon Musk's life completely changed in 2008. It was a nightmare for Elon Musk. His companies were collapsing. He had no money left. He was going through a painful divorce. Everything he had worked for seemed to be falling apart. But then, everything changed. The Falcon 1 rocket finally succeeded, saving SpaceX. NASA gave SpaceX a massive contract, keeping it alive. Tesla secured funding at the last moment, avoiding bankruptcy. Elon had risked everything. And in the end, he survived. But this was just the beginning. His companies were now saved, but they had not yet succeeded. The next stage of his journey would be about proving that Tesla and SpaceX could actually change the world. 4. Changing the world, success and future dreams. Elon Musk had barely survived 2008. SpaceX had just managed to secure a NASA contract, and Tesla had narrowly avoided bankruptcy. But surviving was not enough. Elon wanted to change the world. And that's exactly what he did. Over the next decade, his companies would go from struggling startups to industry leaders. Tesla would prove that electric cars could be the future, and SpaceX would achieve milestones that even government space agencies had never reached. But Elon wasn't just satisfied with success, he kept pushing forward, chasing bigger and bolder dreams. When Tesla first started, people thought electric cars were slow, boring, and impractical. But Elon wanted to change that. He had a plan. 1. Build an expensive, high-performance electric car to prove that EVs could be cool. 2. Use the profits to make a slightly cheaper electric car. 3. Keep lowering the price until electric cars were affordable for everyone. And that's exactly what happened. In 2012, Tesla launched the Model S, a luxury electric sedan that could go over 200 miles on a single charge. It was fast, stylish, and packed with new technology. Critics were amazed, and suddenly, the world started taking Tesla seriously. Then came the Model X, an SUV, followed by the Model 3 in 2017, the car that truly changed everything. The Model 3 was Tesla's first affordable electric car, and demand was sky-high. Hundreds of thousands of people pre-ordered it before production even started. Despite delays and production struggles, Tesla kept improving. By 2020, Tesla became the most valuable car company in the world, proving that electric cars were not just a dream, they were the future. Today, Tesla produces millions of electric cars a year and continues to develop self-driving technology, energy-efficient batteries, and even AI-powered robots. While Tesla was changing the car industry, SpaceX was making history in space. Elon had always dreamed of making space travel affordable so that one day, humans could colonize Mars. But first, he had to solve a big problem: rockets were too expensive. Every time a rocket launched, it cost millions of dollars, and the rocket itself was thrown away after one use. Elon knew that if he could build reusable rockets, he could cut costs and make space travel cheaper. So, he did. In 2015, SpaceX successfully landed a rocket back on Earth for the first time. This was a game changer. For the first time in history, rockets could be used again, making space travel more affordable than ever. After that, SpaceX kept breaking records. In 2017, it reused a rocket for the first time. In 2020, it launched NASA astronauts to space, becoming the first private company to do so. In 2021, it sent civilians into space on the Inspiration 4 mission. And now, SpaceX is working on Starship, the most powerful rocket ever built, designed to take humans to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Neuralink, the Boring Company, and other crazy ideas. Most people would stop after building $2 billion companies. But not Elon. He kept launching new companies with bold ideas. Neuralink, a brain-computer interface that could help people with disabilities and even allow humans to connect their brains to AI. The Boring Company, a company that builds underground tunnels to reduce traffic in big cities. Starlink, a satellite internet project that aims to provide high-speed internet to the entire world, even in remote areas. Elon believes that the future will be shaped by artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and space travel, and he wants to be at the center of it all. Today, Elon Musk is one of the most influential people in the world. His companies have already changed transportation, space travel, and energy, but he is still not satisfied. His next big goals: 1. Make electric cars the global standard. He wants Tesla to lead the world in renewable energy and self-driving technology. 2. Put humans on Mars. SpaceX is working on Starship to make life multiplanetary. 3. Advance artificial intelligence and brain-computer interfaces. Neuralink could revolutionize healthcare and human cognition. 4. Connect the world with high-speed internet. Starlink is already providing internet to remote areas, but the goal is to expand worldwide. Elon Musk is not just a businessman, He is a visionary who wants to shape the future of humanity. Elon Musk's journey started as a curious boy reading books in South Africa. He faced bullying, failures, near bankruptcy, and endless criticism. But he never gave up. He risked everything, his money, his reputation, and even his health, to build the future he believed in. Today, his companies are shaping the world. But if there's one thing we know about Elon Musk, it's that he's not done yet. Because for Elon, the question is never, what if I fail? It's always, what's next?